welcome back to What Arty Nibs with General Disturbance. This is the M6. It's the Tier 6 American heavy tank. It's located on the north spawn of Cliff, and this one is under the command of SlyMeerkat. And the last time we saw him in this tank, he was getting his second mark of excellence, and I really didn't think we would see another video concerning the M6 for maybe a few days or so, maybe even a week. Game on. Well, he sent me this one rather quickly. Sly is quite a good player, so he does know how to play tanks, but he hasn't gone up the American line, which is one of the reasons why these American tanks have not been marked. The M6 is based on the T1 Heavy. It's got a 90mm gun. It's got a fast rate of fire and good armour at the front of the vehicle, but it is not very strong on the sides or the rear. Now the standard reload time is 7.29 seconds and Sly's got it down to 5.79. Good shot on the T52 for 282, that's a high roll. 240 alpha, 160mm of pen with standard ammo, and with the APCR that boosts up to 243, so it's a big jump. Now he did just take a hit from the M44 and the enemy team, and he took away 234 hit points, I'm afraid. Yeah, this tank is very susceptible to Arty fire because of the armour thickness. Oh, bounced off the rock and oh, narrowly missed the M44 again. Yeah, the enemy Arty's certainly going to town on Sly, and there's another shot. Looks like two of them are firing at him now. He's got an FE304 trying to punch holes in him. In fact, one of the shells apparently landed near the turret ring. You can see it when he pulls back, but yep, there's it's definitely on the other side of the vehicle there. That's probably where the M44 hit him on the gun as well. And he's just got hit by the SU-8. So all of the enemy Arty are firing at him, and now the FE304's found a better target to fire at. He's actually trying to blind fire the enemy Arty over in the corner of the map. That's a little difficult from this distance, but he might have a lucky shot. I think more than likely one of them's in the corner. The best thing he can do at the moment is stay behind cover, which makes it difficult for the enemy to get a shot on him, but it also makes it difficult for Sly to get shots on the enemy. Well, you can see from this that the only enemy tank that's actually managed to get any decent distance away from their cap is their M6, and he's facing a T78 and a box tank. Well, that SU-100 just took a big hit. 209 low roll, gets another hit, this time it's a high roll. He can be seen by those enemy tanks up in the sniper's nest, but they don't appear to be firing at him, apart from the T78 who fired an APCR. And he's got a 90mm gun as well. In fact, it's the same gun. It's the M3 gun. Now, they only made 40 of these M6s, and none of them saw action in the Second World War. They were built during the Second World War, but they cancelled the project in 1944 because they recognised they could do better with medium tanks. And he finally got a critical hit, this time on the FE304, and tracked him. So he's getting some revenge on these guys. Firing standard AP. That's better. Got a kill this time. The FE304's out the game. And the enemy has also lost the SU-8. So it's only the M44 is still alive. But Sly's only got 300 hit points left. And there's only 3 enemy tanks still in the game. The Churchill 7's one of them. There's a Paulak to his left. Around the side of the hill. He's just killed the Churchill 7. There's only 2 left. And that's the Paulak and the IKV-65-2, who's up in this little nest and is about to get properly taken out of the game at close range. Yes, he's out. He poked. And, well, opening range. His normal platoon mate is up near the other side of the map, and it looks like the T78 on our team got the Paulak tank. So this game is over. And, well, he was fairly badly damaged. Well, here's the end of battle results, and that was a 3rd mark of excellence game for SlyMeerkat in the M6. He got a 2nd class tanker because he didn't get a huge amount of damage in the game. Normally he does generate vast amounts of damage with that rapid firing 90mm. But in this one, he didn't really get the opportunity to, because the enemy Arty were focusing on him and trying to make it very difficult for him to get any shots. He got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage on the enemy. He also got a Hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemies. And, well, he did receive damage from all 3 enemy Artys in this game. And no other medals. Let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Well, he's not at the top when it comes to damage. That was actually Omen Enraged. Yes, he got 1,506 hit points of damage. No high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. But the second highest damage in the game was the VK3601H, who got 1,470. And the third highest damage in the game was the SU8 on his own team with 1,264. Sly only got 921, which puts him still above every player on the enemy team, but it only puts him in 5th place on damage overall. But when it came to kills, he was at the top because he got 3 kills, and so did the T78 on his team as well. And nobody else got more than 1 kill, so there was only a few with 1 kill apiece. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's at the top with that one as well. 832 went to Sly, 725 went to the T3485M, and then we've got Omen Enraged with 640. So he was 3rd on base XP and Sly was top. 18 shots fired, 8 direct hits on the enemy, 6 penetrations. It's a good gun with decent pen, but the shells are fairly expensive. 921 hit points of damage, of which 432 were at more than 300 meters. He received 4 hits from the enemy. Only 1 was an actual penetration, 3 non-penetrations, which are splash, or they weren't definite pens. But the penetration was actually from a T78 up in the sniper's nest who fired an APCR round at him. But the other 3, of course, you saw those. The Arty were definitely having a go, and they were failing. And the thing is that the M6 is a fairly easy tank to hit because it hasn't got a very good top speed, only 35 kilometers an hour, which means that M6s and T1 heavies are easy targets for Arty. 3 enemy vehicles spotted, 5 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 were killed, that's better. 1,273 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 21,261 credits from the game, 15,946 from personal reserves, 9,568 from battle payments, a total of 60,595 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, took away a profit of 7,801 credits altogether. 832 XP, 187 per playing in a platoon, and 1,435 experience points altogether. So a pretty good game actually overall, except for the fact, of course, he didn't get a whole lot of damage. But it's really good that he's kept his standard high, and he got the 3rd mark. I think it was about a day or 2 after he got the 2nd mark. So it's very quick to get that, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him manage to get a mark in his T29, because that would be the next tank that he's going to be in on the American line. That's the Tier 7, and it's best Tier 7 heavy in the game, even beating the Tiger 1, if you think about it, because it has got such good penetration and well-angled armor. So yes, I'm expecting we'll probably be seeing a game from his T29 tank sometime in the near future. I hope you enjoyed this replay. Oh, before we go, let's have a quick look at the armor profile, because I didn't look at that the last time. Yeah, just going over this again, because you've probably seen it on the previous video. It's heavy armor on the front of the vehicle, very light on the rear. You don't really want to aim for the turret because it is fairly strong, and if you're looking directly at this tank, if you fire at the sides of the turret from front, it's probably going to ricochet off. If you fire at the mantlet, you can see you're going to have to use APCR to punch through that. The same with the hull. It's all fairly thick armor, but if you're firing at it and it's angling at you, you can see that, yeah, the armor's slightly weaker, but because of the angling, it will be have good impacted armor, good effective armor rather, I should say, from the side. But if you shoot at it with only slight angling or poor angling, you can see you're easily going to penetrate through the sides of this vehicle. So much easier to get alongside one of these and just punch as many holes in it as you can. We look at the modules. You've probably seen this before as well, but we'll go over it again. Driver on the right, gunner's mate, or driver's mate on the left hand side. He's also the radio operator. There's the radio. 2 gunners, 1 either side of the gun and the turret. The loader, if you look at the rear, is sitting behind 1 gunner and the TC is behind the other one. There's a ready rack on the left hand side of the tank as we're looking at it, and the main ammo rack is actually in the hull down below. So if we look at the rear, we can see the engine is but in between 2 fuel tanks either side. They're in the shoulders at the rear of the tank, so that's a prime spot to aim at in this tank if you're in the field and you're up against one. If you can get him in the rear, you might be able to set him on fire. The engine slightly offset because of the ammo rack, and the transmission right at the back. If you want to try and get an ammo rack from the side, you've got to aim for the second roller and try and aim between the tracks. That might get a shot into the ammo rack, but no guarantee. But it's when you're facing the front of this tank and it's angling just slightly, it's very difficult to penetrate them from the front. So you can probably use APCR and shoot through the tracks. That might get you a penetration. So I hope you enjoyed that replay, and congratulations to Sly on his 3rd mark of excellence. If you did enjoy it, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm and he does get hungry at this time of day. And do remember to let other people know that we're giving all the money, all the proceeds from this channel to the Red Cross Ukraine appeal to help the refugees coming out of the war. So the more videos you watch, the more money we can send them, the more people we can help. Thanks for watching.